You might look in the mirror and think you've got your style handled, but chances are you're still wearing a few of your favorite items wrong. From the t-shirt you throw on every morning to the boots you wear out on weekends, even the way you spray your fragrance, small mistakes add up fast. So today I'm breaking down 10 essential style items and showing you exactly how to wear each one the right way. Let's fix these mistakes once and for all. Start with the basics, your t-shirt. Now, when it comes to t-shirts, making sure it fits you properly is the #1 key to making sure that shirt looks good on you. It sounds obvious, but so many times we compromise. We find a shirt that's on sale, it's close, or we already have shirts in our wardrobe, brands and sizes we're used to, but our body has changed. Now, gents, you're a smart guy. You know wearing a t-shirt, especially without a jacket or an overshirt, there is nowhere to hide. By that, I mean if you don't have a good fit, everyone's going to be able to see. And normally with a piece of clothing, I would say know the name of your tailor, take it to get adjusted, but t-shirts, there's only so much you can do here. And the cost usually makes it prohibitive unless you're making the adjustment yourself. Adjusting the width of the sleeves or the length of the shirt being the exceptions here. So when it comes to fit, as you can see from the image here, a good fit versus a bad fit makes or breaks the outfit. So when you're choosing a t-shirt, the area that's not going to get adjusted, the shoulders. You got to make sure that the shoulder points on the t-shirt match your shoulder points. If we don't have a good fit here, don't even consider wearing this t-shirt. Next up, you want it to fit in the chest. About 1.5 to 3 inches of excess room is all you need. Next up, we've got torso, and this really depends on your body type. Now, personally, in the torso, I like a shirt to have about 2 inches of room, give or take an inch. And now let's talk about length. When untucked, a t-shirt should go about 2 inches below your waistline. If you're 5'8" or below, this can be a little bit less. If you're 5'9" or above, you may want to go a little bit more. In any case, try to buy a shirt that fits you right here, but if you've got a t-shirt that you absolutely love, making the hem shorter is a relatively easy fix. Making it longer, impossible. And for the sleeves, I do think they look better when they touch the arm, and tightening them up is a relatively easy fix. Next, your hoodie. Now, what are some really common mistakes I see guys making when they're wearing a hoodie? Probably the first one is that they're wearing a hoodie that is past its prime. They loved it and they've worn it maybe 20, 50, 100 times, whatever it is. They've washed it after every wear, but it is fading. It's falling apart. I get it if it's a work hoodie, then in that case, yeah, keep wearing it. But if you're wearing it as a go-to daily staple, you want to be careful of wearing something beyond its ability to look good. Now, fleece hoodies, polyester hoodies, these are going to do some of the best for actually maintaining their look. And that's because they're using synthetic materials. They do an excellent job of oftentimes retaining the dye, especially the polyester ones or the fleece ones. Those can look really, really casual, and they often don't look as high end. I know a lot of people, they wear them more for function than they do for fashion, but I do think for a functional piece, actually fleece can do an excellent job of insulating. So if you want something for the winter that's going to get the job done, you want something to be able to wear to the work side, then fleece is probably a good option. Now, I did mention polyester, especially when mixed with spandex or other materials. I think these performance materials have come a long way. I see tons of brands coming out, and I've got a few that are, yes, made from polyester, but they look really nice. Am I going to be dressing them up with a sports jacket? Probably not, but they definitely are ones that I can wear independent of you, just simply with a pair of jeans and a pair of boots, and they look good. And I found that polyester does a pretty good job of not fading. Cotton, on the other hand, unfortunately, especially if it's a lower end cotton, which we see even some of the higher end companies, and this is where I wish I could tell you, that I knew exactly which companies we're using. Not always the best cotton, but unfortunately, that information changes every single year. I would say go in and just simply touch it, feel it. Let's talk polos. Bigger mistake I see a lot of guys making when they're wearing a polo is they wear a collar that hasn't been pressed. Seriously, the collar is all wrinkled up. It looks like a piece of bacon. And they think, hey, well, it's a soft collar. That's how it's made to be. No, that is the sign of a poor quality polo. I take that back. It could have been an expensive polo that you left too long in the dryer. Point being is you don't want that collar to look bad. A polo, yes, is going to have a soft collar in general, but it doesn't mean that you want to have it wrinkled. You want to have it flopping all over the place. If the polo doesn't fit you, guys, either if it's too big and you paid a lot of money for it and you can't return it, take it to get it adjusted. Small darts put on the back there can bring it in, but you want to make sure when you buy something that it fits you well. The most important place to check is going to be the shoulder points. You can bring in something, but polos you really can't let out. There's not going to be excess material. So if it's too tight anywhere, if it's too tight in the chest, definitely too tight in the stomach, maybe it's too tight in the arms, you are going to want to return and find a brand that works for your build. And by the way, if you've got really thin arms, you can actually get a polo adjusted on the arms. They can bring it in on the inside and it will look better on thinner arms. That being said, I do find that layering a polo, and we can talk about that, you need to know how to layer a polo properly. One of the biggest mistakes I see guys make is they don't experiment. They don't have fun. They only wear the polo by itself, maybe with shorts or a pair of chinos. Guys, there are so many ways to dress it up and dress it down with other items in your wardrobe. Seriously, dressing up with a sports jacket, as you can see it, I'm doing it in this video. I went with brown. I find that it works. So, and again, you've probably got already some sports jackets in your wardrobe. That's why I recommend when you go with the polo, go with a simple solid color when you're starting off. White is easy to match with pretty much anything, but I could be wearing a white polo right here. In fact, boom, as you can see, brought in a white polo. Instantly, we get a higher contrast. It pops. And what's nice about this is white is going to be one of the more formal colors. So you could even wear this with a suit. You can go wear it with a casual suit. You can wear it with a blazer. Tons of options here. Now, your shorts. The shorter the shorts are, the more casual they are. So if you're going to be wearing shorts with a 3-inch, 2-inch, or 1-inch inseam, usually those are going to be swimming trunks or shorts meant to be worn as underwear. But for the vast majority of men, shorts that they would wear on a daily basis in public, 7 to 9-inch inseams are going to be where it's at. Now, how do you choose between the two? It's really about your height and your leg length. You see, proportion is what we're going for here. In general, the sweet spot is to cover 2/3 of the thigh. So for a man that's 6'2", a 9-inch inseam is probably going to get the job done. But for a man that's 5'2", he's going to want to look at a 5 to 7-inch inseam. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let's take a step back and talk about the history of men's shorts. Now, shorts have been around for hundreds of years. In fact, as long as there have been trousers, there pretty much have been shorts. But seriously, they came about and they became part of uniform wear by the military in tropical regions during the 18th and 19th century. In the 1920s, we saw shorts popping up in swimwear. In the 1930s, in sportswear, specifically the tennis courts. Still, for most men prior to the 1950s, shorts were just too casual. In fact, it was something that boys wore, not men. However, in the 1960s and 70s, as sports gear became more common, as golf started to pick up, you just saw men wearing shorts more and more out. And especially here in North America, the United States, shorts by the 1970s and 80s had really taken hold. And although today in still many countries it's considered casual wear, shorts have really picked up, and it's hard not to travel the world and see somebody in shorts in hot weather, especially if they're an American. Moving on, Chelsea boots. Next mistake I see guys making when they're trying to style Chelsea boots, how they're wearing them wrong, is they don't understand the importance of color and material. So in general, darker colors and smooth leathers are going to be more formal. Lighter colors and non-smooth materials like suede are going to be more casual. Now, the reality is a lot of boots out there don't fall on one of those two extremes. They fall somewhere in the middle. Right here, we've got a dark pair of Chelsea boots, but they're made from a suede material. So where do these fall? The quick answer is you usually can go down, but you can't always go back up. So would I be able to wear these with a suit? Probably not. But I could wear these with jeans, I could wear these with chinos, a cavalry twill. Maybe because flannel has a napped surface and this has a little bit of texture, I wouldn't try to mix that combination. But no, you can wear this with a lot of different combinations and it'd look good. This pair, on the other hand, lighter color with the suede again. Yes, this is going to be even more casual than that last pair. And this pair right here, even though it has an overall sleek design, more like a dress boot, it's still going to be casual. I could wear this with a pair of odd trousers, with a casual ensemble, maybe even a light or dark sports jacket. But yeah, this is not one I would ever dress up with a formal suit. Now, speaking of formal suits, am I saying that you could wear this with a morning suit or a tuxedo? No. By formal suit, what I'm talking about is a dark colored regular business suit. If it was raining, if there's a bit of snow, I have no problem with a guy wearing a pair of dark colored Chelsea boots to give himself a little bit more traction and protection. That being said, Chelsea boots in general are more casual than a dress shoe made to go with the suit like Balmoral Oxfords, but they can get a pass when conditions call for them. Bomber jackets. Simple but easy to mess up. Don't overlayer with a bomber jacket. Historically, people just wore a flight suit underneath. I like wearing it with a Henley, with a t-shirt, maybe with a long sleeve, t-shirt. Have something underneath that is relatively light, because that's when I think a bomber jacket looks really well. And these are going to be thick, they're going to be warm, they come in different styles, but understand this isn't really like a negative 30-degree winter jacket. For that, wear a parka. So to be specific, yeah, in general, I consider bomber jackets lightweight jackets, and there's nothing wrong with having lightweight jackets in your wardrobe, especially those of you guys out in California, maybe down in Texas. Yes, I know occasionally in Texas it gets below freezing and you guys aren't ready for it. Come on, I grew up in Midland. I get it, but no, this type of jacket is going to look great, especially just simply when you can throw it on, look good, feel good. Oh, and if you spend a lot of time commuting, this is a great jacket as well because of the elastic. It keeps the jacket out of the way. When you get into the vehicle, you get out of the vehicle. I actually like, be able to show off the watch. Yeah, it's just a good overall style and fit. Sweaters, layer like a pro. If you're going to be layering with a sweater, you want to have the right type of shirt underneath. Because ideally, you don't want to be having to wash your sweater after every wear. A shirt serves the purpose of absorbing any sweat, any dirt, any oil that comes off the skin, and enables you to get more life out of your expensive sweaters because you're not having to launder them as often, you just throw the shirt in the wash. Now, as such, any shirt that you're going to wear under a sweater, you want it to fit well on the body. A shirt that's too baggy or too large that's worn under a sweater is going to have the effect of creating bulks and wrinkles even under a well-fitted sweater, and it's just not going to look good. In addition, most times you want to find a shirt that has a strong collar. Now, one of the simplest and classic collars to go to when you're layering is a button-down collar. It's a casual style collar made popular on the polo fields, but why men like it when layering is it keeps the collar points in place. And last but not least, let's talk about shirt length. So for any man in his 20s or above, I recommend when you're layering to tuck in your shirt. Next up, let's talk the sweater styles that look best with layering. Starting things off, we got the classic crew neck. Now, as mentioned earlier, for a more casual look, you can choose just to wear a t-shirt underneath the crew neck. But the classic layer look is going to have a collar that just peeps above and is held together closely by the sweater neckline. It's a classic, well-established look, although I feel it looks a little bit bunched, and I prefer this other style, which is the V-neck. Now, V-neck sweaters reveal a little bit more of the collar. And I find that when bringing in a third item, like a necktie, they do a better job of showing off the 3 different texture combinations that you could see in this layered look. And yes, it's a little bit more fashion forward, but I do think you can wear a t-shirt underneath and that combination could look fine. But having said all that, my favorite sweater style for a guy to layer has got to be the quarter zip or the half zip sweater. And within this style, I'm also throwing in sweaters that have buttons on them, whether it's a button or a zip. It's a very small difference, although buttons in general are going to be more formal. But yeah, this combination right here is a little bit more modern, and I really like, again, when paired with the right shirt, when possibly even paired with a necktie, it does an excellent job bringing in a variety of different materials, different colors, different textures. And again, because so many of you guys are choosing to not wear a necktie, this is where the accents on the sweaters, whether it be the button color, whether it be a suede lining right there next to the zipper, this here all of a sudden is bringing in lines, it's bringing in color, it's bringing a little bit more attention to where we want people looking towards you, towards your face. Let's fix your dress shirt game. I see a lot of guys make the mistake of trying to wear a shirt that is way too big in the shoulder points. And I get it, you found this shirt on sale, you've got a hard to fit body type, you've got longer arms, but the problem with those shoulder points being out there is 1, you're going to swim in fabric, 2, the frame of that shirt does not work with yours. It's never going to fit properly. It's always going to look off. The advice I would give you, never buy a shirt unless it fits you in the shoulders. Another area that's a non-negotiable is the length of the shirt. So if you've got a longer torso, put that shirt on, raise your arms up. You should not be able to see your midsection. If you don't have enough fabric, there's nothing we can do. This shirt just isn't going to work for you. Now, if it's too long, not really an issue. You can just keep it tucked in, but you could always shorten it if you so choose. And the same in the torso. If in the chest area, if in the stomach area, you've got more than 2 inches of fabric to play with, you can easily just simply dart the back of the shirt. This is where we bring in the fabric. It's a relatively inexpensive alteration that you can even learn to do yourself, and it's well worth it because it will make that shirt look so much better on you. Now let's talk about sleeve length. I like them a little bit longer. Some guys like them shorter. In any case, when you put your arms up, they should be about touching your wrist. So if your sleeves pull halfway up your forearms, they're too short, don't buy the shirt. But if you have the opposite issue, a lot of excess material, you can get it adjusted. Just realize this is going to be a little bit more of an expensive fix because they actually have to take the cuff off and they can shorten it. And so for that reason, I say in most cases, leave it alone. Fragrance, subtle is powerful. I like to be discovered, not announced when I walk into a room. Even if I've got one of my favorite fragrances right here, PDM's Carlisle. Absolutely love this during the winter, but I have made the mistake of putting on too much. And guess what? When you put on too much, you overwhelm people, especially if they're stuck in a car with you. If you're going to be flying on an airplane, I mean, you got to think of others. If you work in an office environment and there is a no scent policy, which by the way is stupid because everything has scent. I mean, literally you can't walk in. Your body naturally has a scent. That being said, I get where they're coming from. They don't want, to give people migraines, and you got to be careful of putting on too much. For me, in general, I find that 1 to 3 sprays in the chest area, if I'm at all concerned, if it's a new fragrance, that is the most I'm putting on. And again, this is in the chest area. I'm putting clothing over it, so that's even helping to mask it. And I like enough though for it to last. Sometimes 1 spray though. Right here, Carlisle, I can get away with 1, maybe 2 sprays of this because the atomizer is good and it's a strong fragrance. And finally, your scarf. The next mistake a lot of guys make when it comes to wearing a scarf is they don't know how to tie a scarf properly. Now, really quick, let me give you 3 simple but masculine tie knots. So first up, we've got the 4-in-hand. This is a great choice for longer scarves. Now, this knot is going to protect the neck from the cold, and it's the perfect option when it is freezing outside. So to start with, fold the scarf in half, both length and width-wise, and then drape it over your neck. After that, take one of the loose ends and pull it through the loop formed by the folded end. Twist the loop, then pull the other end through the loop. After that, just adjust the knot until it looks how you want it to. All right, now if that one's too complicated, let's really simplify this with the classic Parisian knot. Now, the Parisian knot is a very classic looking scarf knot, and for some reason, a lot of guys don't even know about it. I like it because it provides good warmth to the neck, and it's perfect, again, for a little bit longer of a scarf. So you want to start by folding the scarf in half. You want to drape it over the neck, and then bring the loose ends through the hole formed by the folded end. After this, you just tighten the scarf around the neck, not too tight, and adjust as you want it, and boom, here you go. And if that looks a little bit too over the top for you, you want something that just is not only easy to tie, but simple looking, the twice around. The twice around is a great choice for freezing weather. Next to the 4-in-hand, it's one of the warmest methods out there to wear a scarf, but it's very simple to tie. Again, it works best if you're using a longer scarf. Start off by draping the scarf over your neck. Make one end much longer than the other. Now take the long end and wrap it around your neck. Then repeat again and bring it around your neck a second time. Adjust if needed to completely cover your neck, and you're all set for whatever the winter weather has in store for you. So what to watch next? How about stop wearing these 7 items because they're making you look old. I put this video out a while back, but it is still relevant, especially if you're in your late 20s, 30s, 40s. Come on, you don't want to look like you're 150 years old. Go check it out, guys. Stop wearing this stuff because it is doing you no favors.